Afternoon everybody, it's Phil here from Telford Koi Pond again on a sunny Sunday afternoon after the rain we had this morning. Brightened up a bit. Very conscious that we've sort of been doing what it feels like we've been doing lots of work, but I haven't been putting any videos out there, so this is just a sort of a general end of the week catch-up video on where we are, what we're doing, and you know, general update basically. So if you want to have a quick look at the garden first, then I think it's fairly clear what we're sort of planning on doing with the garden. The decking that I'm standing on at the moment, as you can see by the furrow, is being extended out by about another 3 foot, 3.5 foot to give us a bigger entertaining area. We had brick edging all the way around, which didn't really serve much purpose other than sort of drew a line in the sand, so we've had that taken up, and as you can see we've got railway sleepers forming the edging now all the way around. And then if you'd have watched early videos of the pond construction, I've always talked about having a raised deck to stand on and watch the koi. So if we want to sort of come over this way a bit. So you can see we've got the foundations in there for the deck, low level deck that runs all the way across the front of the koi pond, and obviously the decking boards are there ready to go on tomorrow hopefully. And then at the side we've had a little raised area, and that's going to be for our sort of end of day coffees, having to sit down watching the pond as the sun goes down sort of thing in the summer. So obviously the air pump heater won't be kicking out anything in the summer, hopefully, if we're having decent weather. So yeah, we're just going to enjoy the last of the sun as it goes down over there, and watch the fish from that angle, enjoying a nice coffee. Thermotech heater has run faultlessly since day one. I'm going to touch wood just to make sure that continues, but obviously at the minute pond temperature sort of between, I don't know, it's been 18, 19, 20 degrees. I think it's about 18 at the moment. That's set at 17, so it just hasn't been on for days, to be honest, even during the evening. But yeah, you know, it's there for when it's needed. Progress on the pond, so you'll probably have noticed that the pond's been rendered now. It's had a couple of coats of paint, but obviously we'll get all the building work done before we do the final coat, so it might be slightly different from that. And because of all the really hot weather we've had, there's temporary shading on the pond, so this is just simple shade cloth basically. Not quite sure it's going to stay on. I think the plan was always be to have a solid feature, and to be honest I've just not been able to get it tight. I bought a more expensive one with this edging and eyelets on and that sort of thing. I just can't get it to not have these flappy bits on, so it's doing the job at the minute. As you can clearly see on the pond, you know, it's shading it really nicely, so it's doing a purpose. But once we've got all this out of the way, then obviously I'm going to replace that. As you can probably see, the fish up at the moment. Fish are doing really well. We'll just grab some food. So the fish have been great since day one, really. They've all been enjoying the new home. They've all been ravenous. And touch wood again, no problems with them since they've moved into the new pond. I'm getting down a hell of a lot of fish food though, so yeah, they should be growing, but that's all good stuff. Bottom drain's working as it should be, air line's working as it should be. Again, for those of you that have been following, you'll know that I took out the original in-pond gravity skimmer and replaced it with an Oasa in-pond skimmer. Again, that's working absolutely fine, but I do only have it running when I'm out here. And to be honest, there's just nothing now that the seeds have stopped dropping. There's nothing on the top of the water anyway, so there's not really anything for it to do. So most of the time it's turned off. And I'm just waiting for the timber to arrive so I can get this cover sorted. Again, this is only temporary, what you're looking at on top of the pond at the minute, because we do have a lot of herons around here, so it's serving a purpose. And the other change has been with the filters and the filter covers. So just put this down, and then we just have a walk over to the filter house, and I'll show you where we are with that one. Just before we go over to the filters, one thing I do think worthy of a mention is the copings. So really struggling to get copings for this at one stage, but we managed to buy some black Brazilian slate and got it off eBay. Absolutely fantastic stuff when it came, you know, black slate basically. Thought it would be a really good idea to coat it with G4, so I just bought some clear G4, and I'm not quite sure whether you'll pick it up on the camera or not, but the G4 in the strong sunlight has actually reacted, and it's gone green. Now I quite like this because it looks like a marble effect now rather than a slate, so it's really good. But just be conscious if you do put black, put clear G4 onto black slabs in strong sunlight, you might get a reaction. Because one of the things I also did on the filter covers, again I think I mentioned on an earlier video, couldn't get any marine ply for love nor money, so I bought normal plywood, and then I've coated it all with G4. Painted it first the colour I wanted, coated it with G4, but again in the strong sunlight it went to the most awful blotchy brown. It was just really strange how it reacted. So the finish that you're looking at here is a second coat on top of the G4, but again, just, you know, I know what it's for. Perhaps I was using it for what it wasn't designed for, but just be aware that it can change colour, that's all. So let's have a look at the filters. So at the moment this looks like a big big grey box, a big slab of grey, so lots of ideas of how we're going to sort of change this. The covers themselves are definitely temporary. They were, you know, at some point might build this up, but even if we don't, the covers were never meant to stay. So this top, if you like, will eventually be replaced with I don't know, decking boards or shiplap or something like that, timber anyway, to give it a better finish. The front is quite a big expanse, so again we'll either put a trellis on there and hang flowers off the trellis, or put some battens down, and then again put flower pots and things like that on, which my good lady wife will do, just to break it up really, as well as all the flowers we'll have on the decking. So I'll just show you what I've done and how they work. So it's all about ease of use for me at the moment. So just very simply, they just lift up, and there's a post inside which goes onto the timbers that run around the outside, and it's really easy access for me. So that's the same down here. Anybody want an ice cream while we're here? You're gonna have to wait. So $2.99 later, the ice cream man's round there, so he might come back in a minute. Just a quick word on the construction then of this. Obviously you would have seen it in the blockwork state. Just put some 120mm timbers just all around the outside to give me a base on which to work or rest things. And the filter covers themselves, obviously just a square of 45 by 45 inch treated timber with a central support going down the middle, and then the stays themselves are obviously just broomsticks with a bolt through there into the central support, and I've just put a couple of kitchen plastic, I don't know what you call them, widgets in there, just to give me somewhere to actually, you know, seat this into. And all that is a 90-degree angle bracket screwed to the bottom, which I've just bent out a little bit. As I say, it's really firm. It's going to do its job, and that's the same at this end. Again, same construction, same sort of thing, and it just allows me to open everything from the outside. Middle one is slightly different because of the doorway, so it's a smaller cover. And I just put that on there. There's a central support that I have in the middle. Just put that on there for a bit while I come in. And then once I'm in there, I can shut the door. Same as the others. Just put that on there, and then I've got quite a large sort of working area really in here, which is good. The central support, I'm not really sure it's needed, but obviously it's just for just for these to rest on, or when I'm not, when I don't need it on, it just lifts out and push it away out the corner. And then I've got my access to this. Everything's working as it should at the moment. Air pumps are working fine, filters working fine. It's telling me the water's 18 degrees at the moment. As I say, this just hasn't missed a beat all the while it's been in. And as you can see, if you have a quick look at the media, the media's maturing absolutely perfectly, and there's no dead spots. The big black balls are the balls out the quarantine tank that I had in the shed, so everything's gone into there. So again, that's working really well. Water's really clear, which I'm really pleased with. That was the whole point of buying a drum, is to get the water clear and have it quite maintenance free. And the trickle in, trickle out's working fine as well. And yeah, it's just it's all working really well basically, so I'm really pleased with it at the minute. And that's where we are. As I say, I'm spending a bit more time on the garden at the minute than we are on the pond, because the pond's now up and running and working. Still checking everything, still go around and check all the joints and the screws and the connections every week to make sure there's no leaks or anything like that. But as I say, touch wood, it's not missed a beat since we first set it up. So that's where we are for the moment. Don't think there's much more to say. I'll put a video out next week when hopefully there'll be quite a big difference with the garden, and then we can start thinking about perhaps some new fish for the pond or something like that. So everybody that's been watching since the start of my build, thank you very much. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, then please like and subscribe, because there's lots more to come. And just thanks to everybody for all the comments, tips. You know, it's been a real learning experience doing all this, and it's only been made possible by the feedback that I've been getting from some people that have been watching the videos. So big thank you from me, and yeah, thank you. Stay safe, be good, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.